Hi everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for you today. It is April 22nd, 2019. So the 22 is all about the Fool and taking a leap of faith. And someone asked me about the Fool being the 22 as opposed to the 0, because it depends on what deck you're using. But in the Divine Triangle, the numerology book, the 22 is the Fool, because 0 is source energy. And the way my downloads have been coming in, that 0 is source energy contained within a human body. So it's pure, and a fool is a human. So for me, it makes sense that the 22 is like the, the teenager graduating high school, basically. They're still very foolish. They think they know everything, but they don't. But they still have an open heart as well. They're still very childish and open. So for me, 22 is the Fool. And today is the 22. It's about keeping your heart open perpetually because you have faith. You have that inner knowing. You can leap without seeing with your physical eyes because you have that connection to self, to higher self. The day adds up to 38, which is the Queen of Cups. And 38 is 11. And that is very much a spiritual, visionary vibration of that intuitive psychic, but a very also just loving, nurturing person. So we have the Fool and the Queen of Cups, which is very sweet, open-hearted, loving energy today. But there's some nervous energy too. So when we get too much into the feminine, nervousness may come up, right? Because the masculine energy is that command, confident energy. So sometimes when we get too much into the feminine, and I noticed this too when the moon's in Libra, that I tend to be more nervous those days because we get more gentle and feminine. We are more vulnerable, and so nervousness may come up more. And actually, I've been getting that just the past hour or two. Like this morning, I wasn't feeling it. I was feeling it more recently. So there may be some nervousness coming up, and it may be coming through your masculine as well, going into his feminine and feeling more nervousness than usual. So as we get into the read today, which was done at 10:22 to 23, which is the Fool, 22, and 23 is the King of Wands, which is a big transition going from the Fool to the King of Wands, the Man of Passion, because the Fool is, there's a lot more innocence and naivete in the Fool than the King of Wands. So sometimes in the change, that the transformation may cause some nervousness to arise, okay? So as we were getting into the read, and this is for the Divine Masculine Twin Flames, I was getting again in the underlying energy that your Chariot awaits, which has been coming up several times this week. I'm definitely getting prom coming up as well, some really cute energy about prom. And it can be dances in general because it's that time of year, but it's coming up in the underlying energy. But I was also getting the line from my song, Evergreen But Never Seen, again about the Divine Feminine, evergreen, and keeping her heart open but never seen. And this is one of the wounds that's still needing to be cleared. So as we get into the read at 10:22 to 23, we had the Tower, which is the Tower in this deck. Ascension in the Sirian Starseed deck is usually the World, and then we have the Great Wheel, which is the Wheel of Fortune. There were 3 cups. Oh, by the way, the Chariot was under the underlying energy. So, yeah, so the Tower wasn't the underlying energy, but the underlying energy card, underneath that was the Chariot, which I do use that card, and the After the Read card. So the Chariot was also present. There were 3 cups, 2 pentacles, 1 wand, and 2 swords. The court cards were King and Queen of Cups, so the King of Cups and Queen of Cups, the Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles, and then the King of Swords was the card after the read. So just to give you a prep to the read, since we have a couple here, we have the King and Queen of Cups, and then the Page of Wands and Page of Pentacles, it could be a couple and their 2 children. The King of Swords could be the masculine with parents and children, like extended family, but this could also be the King and Queen of Cups as the masculine and the karmic, or the masculine and his feminine if they're together. And the pages can be kids, but they also can be messages. And then the King of Swords can be a friend or a lawyer, definitely within this read. And the King and Queen of Cups can be the masculine's parents. Okay, so there's different situations here. So as it fits for you, take what fits and then let go of the rest. If it doesn't fit, the read isn't for you. Don't force it, right? Don't get upset thinking something's for you when it's really not. So if you're not sure, just let it go. It's better to feel centered and at peace, okay? So the numbers that came up here, there were no numerology cards in the code line here, just a few numbers. There wasn't much at all. 2, and then the sequence 789, as well as the number 3112 and 3122. So again, the 22 is coming up, and the 32 is the reflection of the 23. So I believe both numbers here are very significant. The King of Wands doesn't come up major time in the read today, but he's definitely present. So we have the King of Wands, King of Swords. The King of Cups is definitely in the main read, so that's the most important, is the King of Cups and Queen of Cups in the 2 pages. The Emperor was definitely there, and the Empress was reversed. Emperor wasn't like a big deal in this read, but he was probably more of a positive energy, where the Empress could be coming up reversed, for sure. In the underlying energy, the Empress could actually be, they could be 2 different people, or they could be the same person up and down. For the Empress, probably more upright in the underlying energy, but then going into the read, the Empress is reversed. And that's for sure. Let's see here, the coding here, or the message, was very simple, and it was all about the King of Cups, which we all know is unconditional love. And it was getting like the cast of the King of Cups, which is the cast, you as the angels, of unconditional love. Also the slivery moon, right? Coming up, slivery moon, which can be like the crescent moon, but it also can be the slivery moon with this full moon in being the false light, can throw you off balance. So beware of that as you toggle etherically. Make sure you ground as well to unconditional love. Also, AST, which is a marker for liver function, came up, and also the flower again, aster, which is more fragile, so that could be that nervous energy. Someone who's very complicated can also be more fragile and delicate, so to be aware of that with unconditional love. So be open to the unconditional love. But liver function issues were coming up as well, so people who drinking too much, so the King of Cups could be a reversed energy, but doesn't have to be. But that could also absolutely be someone with drinking issues. The chalice was coming up a lot. But note that the chalice may be a cup, but it's also considered a blossom or a flower. So something came up in the headings about, the dangers of infection, about the chalice at church, of sharing the cup. So that was just something that came up for discussion. And that was from Southern Order Space blogspot.com. And a picture came up when I opened that of Southern Orders, and it was called The Gardener. And actually my lawn guys were here today, and I felt very, the aggressive energy felt very strong. And that may have been what caused some of the nervous energy in me today. So a lot of anger in the masculine coming out and being taken out on the feminine. Also, the powerful curse of Jacques de Molay, the last Grand Master of the Templar Order, born in 1243, and he was the 20th, and that was AD, and he was the 23rd, so here we have the King of Wands again, and the last Grand Master of the Order of the Knights Templar. He ruled 4/20/1292 and was its great reformer. And then I was getting Grand Master T, and Mr. T was coming up. But Grand Master T and Spirit's connecting with me. And T also is toggling to the etheric realms, okay? To the central sun, to God, to unconditional love. And then the views came up 11/23/2. So here we had Justice and the King of Wands again. And then as I started writing down the information about the read, it was 1046, and my mail went to 10,046. So that's the Six of Cups, the children in the garden. So very much about the kids in the garden and their innocence and the twins coming together. So as we start the read here, we have the Seven of Cups, or Seven of Chalices in the Syrian Starseed deck, and the Chariot behind it. So this is how we start out. Okay, so you see where this is very promy, them coming down the stairs as their chariot awaits. Okay, don't you like that? So for me, that's definitely coming up with people's dances right now. But ascending and descending, the staircase, and prom definitely comes up. The chariot awaits, but this could be for the feminines as well, as heaven is in their eyes, over the loss, and happy with self and bodyguards. So someone may have an escort or a bodyguard, or getting their wish with, or the masculine could be getting their wish with the wounded warrior, Mary Magdalene, as the Page of Cups, which comes up for Jesus in one of the oracle decks. But the Page of Cups also comes up as the baby, the youngest one of the family. I'm the baby, gotta love me, and I can confirm this because I was at my sister's and talking to her son about that yesterday. Because he's a baby, but he's at that age where he no longer wants to be seen as a baby, but you can't have it both ways, right? So if you don't want your mother to still love you as her baby, then you're not going to get that affection that you really want, because you do still love your mom. But you know, it's just that fragile time in growing up as a teenager where you and your mother are kind of at cross purposes, so you kind of have to find a new way with each other. But that energy is definitely coming up. Or just a little child, I'm the baby, gotta love me, the baby Jesus, losing hope of their dreams ever coming through. And it gets to be about the baby as well. So some people may be dealing with babies, or someone's acting like a baby, but the Page of Cups here was upright. But it can still be that innocent person as a child. It can be that personality who has a lot of feelings. You know, it's a water sign. So they can be a little shy or a little whiny, you know, when they're feeling anxious like this and scared. Okay? So they may be nervous of their dreams ever coming through, or a child in need of healing, where everyone else is over the loss. And as everyone leaves the stadium here, a chariot appears out of nowhere to save the day. So that could be happening, I don't know, at a halftime somewhere, even though it's not football season, but some kind of display at a stadium type event, where I was just getting that feeling. It can just be representative of this happening for someone. It could be definitely for a divine feminine, where all of a sudden her masculine shows up. But the chariot appears out of nowhere to save the day, or a Pisces child who's feeling blue. So it could be someone's child, as a Cancer person rushes in to support them. And that's definitely that mother energy. So again, we have the mother and child, and it definitely can be mother and son energy. So they may come to the rescue to their cause, to help cheer them up, to support their cause, so they can be doing some kind of charity work as well, or just to help cheer them up. Or a Pisces child lost an Aquarius person, but the Cancer comes in to pick them right back up again. So there's like new support coming in to scoop them right up again. Sometimes dreams are given and then taken away to make sure you stay present, to enjoy the journey when your dream comes to stay. And my ears popped open when I made that statement. So this was very important. So listen to this again. And this was so important. And the perfect example was my daughter recently, who happens to be a Page of Cups. She's a Pisces, and she's also the baby of the family. And she had just gotten a big part in a movie. She didn't even go after it. They called her. And then a couple of days later, they cut the part, so it was cut out. So, you know, your dreams come true, and then how disheartening to have that taken away from you when you didn't even think you were going to get it. But it's saying that sometimes dreams are given and then taken away to make sure you stay present, to enjoy the journey when your dream comes to stay. So you really are present to what you want, okay? And the movie I watched, was it yesterday or the day before? What's it called here? Because that has to do with that message as well. It was on the 20th I watched it. Brampton's Own. So it was about a minor league ball player, so you might want to check that out, because it's really about learning why when you're reaching for the outcome, you may lose your dream. Because it's not until you learn to enjoy the journey that you can really enjoy that dream. And Spirit's connecting with me. So very important message. And I was just seeing also Evergreen But Never Seen. So don't worry about the outcome, about being seen, because that would be an outcome. Just instead enjoy the journey of, if you want to be seen, if you want to be an actress, for example, then just enjoy the journey of becoming an actress, of getting out there and doing class and being seen by your classmates, but not worrying about the success part of it, just focusing on the enjoyment, the happiness of it. So as we turn the page, it was 10:59, and 59 is the 11th hour. It's the minute before the hour, the 11th hour. Okay, so it's very important. The minute before the 11th hour. Okay, and this is where we are. The underlying signs here were Sagittarius reversed, Leo was upright and reversed, so it could be two separate Leos, or someone displaying both negative and positive qualities. Libra, not sure which direction, but was definitely present in the underlying energy. Scorpio was upright. Taurus, not sure which direction. Aquarius was reversed. Cancer, not sure which direction. Aries, not sure, but Pisces was definitely upright. So that Page of Cups was definitely upright as well. So as we go on with the read, the little girl needs her father, who is leaping to a Queen of Pentacles with an open heart. So the King of Pentacles is coming up here. So in the underlying energies, we have a King and Queen of Pentacles, who could be the same couple as the King and Queen of Cups, but it also could be a separate couple. But I'm getting a little girl needs her father. It's like he has his back turned to her, and he's focused on leaping towards the Queen of Pentacles with an open heart. Or that he sees his little girl becoming a woman. And again, this is prom energy. Choosing a path or goal of expressing their feelings. Lots of back and forth excitement, a heated exchange of energy as her chariot awaits, possibly prom, and or a younger sibling, with envy making them sad. So this Page of Cups could be the younger child who's not of age to go to prom yet. So just could be feeling very left out, even though they're not being negative. They're just kind of, not fair, that kind of energy. Or the Queen of Pentacles presents a gold coin and is well grounded, while the dark X of the masculine is envious that they chose the wrong path, or still clinging to dark path in a heated exchange with fire and Queen of Pentacles, who is comfortable and natural. So there may be an exchange between feminines, whether it be the karmic and the divine feminine, or just someone in the masculine's life, two people. It could be at work, at home. It doesn't have to be the divine feminine, but it can be as well. But it could be the kids too. So some kind of heated exchange there. Nothing real negative, just like some nervous energies there. Or the King of Pentacles, knowing his little girl twin is always with him, and that he must open to her, his natural choice, achieving his goal and expressing arrows of love, to dream as the chariot awaits suddenly. He may fear she has options, or just discuss their options together, taking children into consideration, all with heaven in their eyes and synchronicities going on all around them. Looking back or going back to the past, the Queen of Swords was always truthful, as he daydreams about being worthy of the rewards that he is reaping in sudden events, trauma, and or epiphanies. The Queen of Swords speaks of importance of the one gold coin. If you are the gold coin, then you will attract many other gold coins to help, to reap. You must clean house of that which no longer serves in his best interest. So this is the masculine getting this stuff. Sitting on a gilded throne of variety, he stands alone in cleaning out his own crap, and now realizes this. Sudden flurry of back and forth to cure his inner child's heart. Okay, so this sudden flurry of back and forth energies in order to clear and cure his inner child's heart. Okay, so this could be cleaning up around the house, or going back and forth with kids, or karmics, or divine feminine if you guys are together, or it could be just a lot of physical activities, running around getting errands done. So engagement comes up, and beneath that is honeymoon. So there's a honeymoon first, or time away, and then engagement, which is just an elevation of a relationship. Then I was getting the energy of, and we're still in the underlying energies here, that I got your back. I got you covered from those who would steal from you, like it's feeling the comfort of your twin. And then a sudden big love work, noble connection of sweet tweets and weather vanes of the past. Looking at old pictures, the masculine, of lovebirds and socks on the tree, or suddenly nostalgic as discussing children or where to go from here. As twin may feel sudden jealousy as the divine masculine relives the past in his mind, just a review of what was real and not real, and how he got from there to here as to not repeat the same negative patterns. Maybe rock, paper, scissors at the gate is now magnet, gold coin, and scissors, but not a competition, yet events of fate. Okay? And then remembering the masculine, so he may look at pictures, maybe he's looking through old albums of his children if he feels like all of a sudden they're becoming women or men, and looking back at old pictures, which of course are going to bring back memories of his relationship, but then all of a sudden remembering any cheating that went on, and that he comes right back to the present, letting go fully of the past, no longer applicable to his life. So no more. No more. It's like all of a sudden it's a good thing, because then as he remembers the good, then he remembers, was the good really that good at the time, or is it just the illusion of looking back, and that you're no longer that person. So we turn the page, it's 1132, and 32 is the Six of Wands. It's the Journeyman, being on the journey, having good news come in, success and getting attention. I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine. Memories are natural. Nature comes up as 74, and beneath that was time out. So time out in nature, time out is 37, the King of Cups. So you're loving yourself first by taking time out, and then 74 is the 6 of Pentacles, which is that nature, is perfectly balanced. So it's good to take time out in nature because it helps rebalance your energies. But be careful about that. I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine, because this isn't a competition. It's not a business exchange. We're talking about love, which is unconditional. So if you say, I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine, you're putting conditions. You're saying, I'm not going to love you if you don't scratch my back. Okay? So time out nature heals all wounds, making new memories of happy and a positive nature. Going their separate ways, the King of Cups and Leo and or ego, to each pursue their own dreams of a new life. The wounded warrior, no more, but impatient to offer the moon. And it was 1136 at that time, and 36 is the 10 of Wands, of dropping all your burdens. A little rascal looking for the exit, and how to escape the snake in the grass, with little ladybug spies, and or children. Pencil is an advantage over pen, because you can erase what's been. Leo goes back to the past, and the Knight of Cups is racing forward. Excited with the Holy Grail in hand, on the tip of his tongue, he can taste it now. Impatient in Jupiter retrograde, to send further, suddenly plotting the course of his arrows of love, directed at his twin, naturally. And then I was getting that song, naturally. Alone again, naturally. Okay, so some of the words from that song are leaving me to doubt. Talk about God in his mercy, who, if he really does exist, why did he desert me? And in my hour of need, I truly am indeed alone again, naturally. Now looking back over the years and whatever else that appears, I remember I cried when my father died, never wishing to hide the tears. And at 65 years old, and 65 is the King of Pentacles, which is in the underlying energy here, my mother, God rest her soul, couldn't understand why the only man she had ever loved had been taken, leaving her to start with a heart so badly broken. Despite encouragement from me, no words were ever spoken. And when she passed away, I cried and cried all day. Alone again, naturally. It's coming through from the masculine right now. So the masculine's feeling very alone, and a lot of masculines may have had a difficult relationship with God, their higher selves, because they always felt things had been taken away from them unfairly. So discussing the good, the bad, and the ugly at the gate, to close permanently at Lion's Gate, which is 8-8. And don't forget, 8-8 is the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, both perfectly balanced, all right, 0 point, doing the dance and being self-integrated, but now standing side by side. So recently, for the masculine here, is the Sage of Chalices, which is the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups working to align and release self from prison without option of synchronicities and needing to make a bold move out of her confusion by staying at 0 point in her knowing and in the present moment. After a divorce or justice, or a judge and or Libra is feeling guilty for offering new life or his gold coin to an empress, evergreen but never seen, her heart expands as he returns her love. As the Chariot is about to come out from beyond the synchronicities that foretold the story. The foundation here is the masked boy with the burning desire. Okay. For the High Priestess, unable to sleep well when not grounded, or him secretly rising above, unable to sleep when she is ungrounded, or that he has to sleep next to a greedy woman. If still with a karmic whom he no longer loves. So we turn the page and it's 1156, and 56 is the Two of Swords being in your knowing. Rising above the High Priestess or Viking versus good woman ungrounded versus greedy woman all about money. Or just unable to sleep holding secrets of his twin. Centrally the masculine is the Tower here. The Tower as the Knight of Wands and Knight of Swords both rush in to offer love and releasing pride, or rehearsing pride, or grounding and integrating the need for courage to offer love to someone who may ignore them as they did to them. So this is definitely energy of the Knight of Wands and Knight of Swords in the Tower. There's definitely two guys out, or two girls out on the prowl, but it definitely could be the masculine getting a friend to help him. Okay, rush back to the Divine Feminine. So the Truth or the King of Swords, with sunshine between them, between him and the Empress. The Truth of the King of Swords, with sunshine, so in a positive way, sunshine between him and the Empress as the feminine, or it can literally represent a Leo coming between the Empress and the King of Swords, Divine Masculine. Or it can be ego as well. So the space between the words, exposed for all to see suddenly, cutting through the BS crown, the false crown, to the real stuff buried beneath and above, as above so below. So the challenge being for the masculine, the King of Cups, or unconditional love. I'm truly seeing, okay, seeing others as well as himself. Wielding Excalibur, the sword of truth, to take the 2 steps to the race of his life, back to God, back to Source, his higher self, back to love, and fending off others in order to heal. Each twin with a key that need to cross or merge. They need to merge energies to open the gate, Lion's Gate. And then I was getting V plus 3, which is the 5 plus 3, which is 8. And I had said this before, I was getting, it's very important this time from May till August is the opening where then it gets sealed shut, okay, because that's the balancing of the masculine and the feminine. So May to August again was coming up as very important. In May, Taurus co-creates noble truth for King of Swords and Empress, and then Saving Private Ryan came up here to expose the Queen of Wands, possible Leo, Gemini, Taurus, Sagittarius, Pisces, and or Cancer. So it could be one person with all those energies combined, or one or the other. But this is the Queen of Wands coming up here. And it was paralleling coming onto the beach of Normandy, that traumatizing first 20 minutes of that movie, as getting past the Queen of Wands in order to save himself. So the King of Cups' left eye is getting past the invasion of Normandy, getting past the Queen of Wands in order to save himself. Lovers with psychic abilities longing to expand the 5D world, angels with full moon, and take note too, the Queen of Wands can represent the masculine's ego. So his ego could be very feminine oriented. So it could be that battle of Normandy is the battle within himself, of getting past himself, getting past his ego. So lovers with psychic abilities longing to expand to the 5D world, angels, with the full moon, false light, Queen of Wands lover, wounded warrior, victim mentality in the way of divine connection. Her clinging to the third energy, and her wanting possession of the children and her black cat, or turning away from children for new lover that could be her soulmate or twin. So whether she is a twin and now is being guided to her twin, or whether if he has a twin, then she must have one out there and now leaving because that's what she wants. Now crowning for the masculine is the Page of Pentacles, or the Page of Crystals, the Seeker of Crystals. Seeking and discovering psychic abilities, or children suddenly changing with desires of their own. Alright, so the Emperor is impatient to learn from the Hermit with the light in order to detox and be the messenger of truth without impatience or temper tantrums. The Hermit is no angel, the Emperor is no devil, and vice versa. Just impatient to learn about wisdom, longing, abilities, and transformation. Alone with the third party, without attention to risk-taking of thoughts between them. So again, we're saying here, feeling alone on their own, with third party, without attention or needing attention, in order to take risks, the risk-taking of thoughts between them, or the telepathy between them, or the heart connection between them. There's an exchange, perhaps, of intellectual property that they share, and the masculine may be realizing this now, whether it's that he feels like the feminine is taking his thoughts, or he's able to connect with hers in order to build more new ideas for himself. That overindulgences, over-isolation, neediness, lying, cheating, stealing, dampen those abilities, those new psychic abilities he's understanding now, and must allow full transformation to be open-hearted and free to leap, and then hang and be wise at the same time, to new love, second chances, and sharing heartbreak and depression of the 5D with angel, in order to burn the past of the harsh truths and false light and victim mentality, in order to offer love in their connection with 2 spoons of sugar, fairy justice. Okay, and then it was 12:21 as my lawn guys came in, making a lot of noise. You know, lawnmowers are just, the sound is very aggressive, so it can really, jolt your energy. So take note of that as well. It doesn't have to be that the energy behind the men is aggressive, or it can be, but also just realize how much sound can affect you. So if you watch, and this is paralleling to Saving Private Ryan and that scene on the beach, how traumatizing was it to watch the first 20 minutes of that movie because of all the gunfire and the noise, and it never stopped. Can you imagine? That's the feeling of being in a war situation. It can just be the war within yourself. Okay, so the signs that came up in the body of the read were all 12. Aquarius wasn't really presented in the body of the read, but it doesn't mean there's no Aquariuses in the read, because this isn't just sun energies. There could be an Aquarius who presents more as a Leo, and that definitely comes through, or even Cancer energy, because I know the masculine's fathers come through as an emperor, definitely with Aquarius, Cancer, Leo, Aquarius type energies. So all of those can be at play. But I was getting, for Leo and Taurus, I was getting upright and reversed energies, which, like I always say, can be 2 separate people, or someone expressing both their negative and positive. I have Scorpios upright, Pisces upright, Gemini upright, Sag reversed, Aries upright, Capricorn reversed, Virgo upright, Libra upright, and Cancer upright. So those were the general energies for all the signs. As we turn the pages, 12:24. So now we go from 12:21, which is the wisdom of completion and letting go, to the 12:24 of the Queen of Wands energy. And 12 plus 12 is 24. So remember that the Queen of Wands energy is also considered the space between the words. It is that third energy, because the third party is actually the karmic energy, but it takes that third energy or that third party to be the thorn or the bacteria that gets in the clam or the oyster to create the pearl. All right, it's the trigger that creates the beauty. Okay, so they just want you to remember that reference. So soon is the 8 of crystals, okay, which is like the 8 of pentacles, working on detoxing, inspired by silence, lies, and immature conversation, or those triggers. Messages, stalking, or mental disturbances like ADD, bipolar energy, autism, or just detoxing kids. One may be inspired and one mouthing off and lying. Trying to find peace in the weeds with Lover, Queen of Wands. Standing up for self and fending off attacks from energy just coming into the earth or other people, including her, if it's a partner that you're still with for the masculine. But this is coming up at work, at the workplace. Feeling inner disturbances from aggressive energies around you, around your house. Remember to just take a moment to breathe and transmute the energies, okay? So always remember back to the invasion at Normandy and how unsettling that is. The masculine is how he sees himself in the fight of his life for Lover to end the pain. He is purging and stressed on a quest of passionate growth and ending the pain for the lovers. Loving yourself first comes up for the masculine, as well as romantic feelings. That feelings are worth exploring. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So don't doubt yourself, masculines. If you see it, you know it. You can't visualize it unless it's real. Around the divine masculine, or how he is seen, is the world of ascension. Okay, we have the ascension card, which is typically the world. Okay, so this is the energy around him. Destiny in a bold move in getting closure with family regarding sealed divine feminine with 2 strands of DNA. One is for him. Manifesting being done and dealing with family issues and unhappiness. The end of a marriage and manifesting his divine marriage. Clearing blocks of being in his knowing. All right, so he needs to clear blocks of being able to see without seeing. Like, because he's the logical man, it's very difficult for them to get used to that feeling of trusting their own knowing and trusting what they see etherically. Okay, to get past the stuck emotions of expressing feelings of the Queen of Cups reversed. So him either feeling guilty about the divine feminine crying, or anyone in his life crying, if it's a feminine, or that him in his feminine crying and how he was never allowed to be that in front of his father, because that was coming up here. Coming together, or groups or gossip, leaving them out in the cold, or in exile. So the masculine feeling this about what he did to the feminine. Abandoned, rejected by family, or him being now rejected, abandoned by family due to his choices now, and or family legacy. Having found peace and standing up for his lover to family, whether that be as karmic and or divine feminine to them. So maybe he's standing up for his divine feminine now, but maybe it's an issue with his family because his family didn't like his karmic and he had to always stand up and defend her. So their bonding came from him always having to defend her to his family. Whereas now, if he has to defend his divine feminine to his family, they're really not going to believe him this time, right? So there's maybe those underlying issues there. Or knowing the masculine that people gossiped about his divine feminine and not doing anything about it is the same as joining in. So when he didn't deny it or stand up for her, he realizes now that he was gossiping about her too. And then he's then in turn gossiping about himself because they are one. Gossip about third-party fantasy and avoidance of schooling to goose who won't stop flapping their gums or their wings if it's the divine feminine, speaking her truth about the dance, betrayal, family and abandonment, and gossip issues. Okay? So the last 2 cards in the read came up, the Great Wheel and the King of Swords. or in this deck it's the King of Orbs, or the Master of Orbs. So we have destiny along with the Master of Orbs. The numerology cards that came up, which were all really important: change, love partnership, relationship change, and individuality. Making sure you stay authentic to yourself when you go through the change and go into love partnership in this relationship change. Don't lose yourself. Stay authentic. So the destiny, the wheel, justice of connection to the gold coin above the crown, opening to the lion's gate with the Sphinx, teaching Ra lessons and RX lessons on how to fix things, how to fix what's broken with the mirror dance of Adam and Eve, legacy of their ultimate family connection, two as one. Okay, and that comes from first love, two hearts that beat as one. Or the King of Swords is a workhorse. Well, there's different situations here depending on the King of Swords is. The King of Swords could be offering help to detached King of Cups. Okay, so it could be a friend or a lawyer, or an officer of the court giving the conditions of the settlement, or the King of Swords workhorse, who's actually the Knight of Cups offering love, but coming off as the Knight of Pentacles offering help and or practical money, when really it's his way of offering love, and then being detached of emotions, but actually for him that's truth and balance, to then dance with destiny, fantasy mirror, gold coins, gates, sphinxes, and psychic abilities, detached from workplace and or third party, or not getting along at work, or this third party could be through work with Empress reversed, so that could be a feminine, but it also could just be people he works with. And Empress reversed here is coming up as a nasty woman. Okay, so it's at work. I mean, Empress reversed can be a miscarriage or an abortion, but being that it's at the workplace, it's not really coming up here, but I suppose that could apply. But it's really about detaching from that energy, that negative, harsh energy, like the beach at Normandy. Someone who he feels is clearly crazy, orchestrating synchronicities or options for home or new workplace, but no money to do it. So I'm definitely getting karmic energies, like knowing that he always sees the divine feminine synchronicities, so trying to make them up so he'll believe that she's that energy with him, or synchronicities in leading him into getting a new home or a new business when they don't have money for it, and like, what is she, crazy? Right? So someone trying to manipulate money out of the masculine. Can be a karmic or a boss who's someone who works with him, but no money, and the King of Wands reversed with his back turned and pissed. Negative past could be returning, and or it's just kids being bad, and they could be kids at work too, who the masculine, if he has his own business, could think of the people who he works with as his kids, while trying to recover financially, but in a lie about the past, or in a split, whether it's a split from his marriage, a split from a work or a partnership, a split from kids crying, purging, and stressing about his gold coin, his going into his new life offer. And as we turn the page, it was 1254, and 54 is the Page of Swords. It has to do with that message, but it's also about vigilance and spying. So are you being your authentic self? Are you being, your unconditional love, your honest person, okay? So there's a sudden bold move here to the stairway to heaven of the masked boy with a burning desire, purging with ascension symptoms. The Queen of Cups, sudden event of drama, epiphanies, or a split, with the King of Cups working out details of knowing without knowing, psychic abilities and destiny, good fortune, and the help of the King of Swords, or that he is his own destiny. Bold synchronicities displayed of the Queen of Cups in patience, and I was getting the flower in patience, and also the I am patient, okay, that you, number one, are patient. You need to be patient, but it's, heal or heal thyself. When you're impatient, realize it's that because you need to be the patient right now, not the healer. Masked boy of desire, suddenly unconditionally loving with psychic abilities, or suddenly kids are challenging him as the King of Cups with their desires and abilities, and him needing to step up and be unconditionally loving, whether he agrees with his kids or not. And this could be even psychic abilities where it was against his beliefs what the Divine Feminine did, and now one or both of his kids is expressing those exact same things, and he's being put in the position of learning to be unconditional loving, and thus learning to love his twin and himself, because whatever goes for his twin goes for himself as well. But now we can learn that through the unconditional love of his children. Purging, aligning, cracking codes, and working out details of completion, closure, mastering the world and his knowing, and his destiny as or with help from the King of Swords, who could be a friend or a lawyer, who are there to help him with offering his gold coin to a new life, away from a possible Taurus and or Leo energy. Okay, so that's the read here. I'm going to show you the pics real quick, and then I'll go into the oracle cards in a separate installment. Okay, so this is the basic read. And then we have the full read here. And I think there was some cards that fell out right while I was shuffling too, which I'll show you those real quick here. Okay, that was in a shuffle. Okay. And yeah, just remember to recenter, reground, go out in nature if you're feeling ungrounded, because there's definitely some nervous energy coming up here. And, you know, do your best to make sure you drink your water every day. That's why I remind you every day. And to rise and be loved, guys. Love yourselves first.